Hello, and a big welcome to all of you to this next session organized by RATA Calcutta chapter. On a very, very different subject today, we're going away from the typical line of air conditioning, refrigeration, and also from regular business applications, but something which is needed for all of us on a daily basis. And this is on wealth creation. Wealth creation through various aspects, whether they're equity market, mutual funds, bonds, or most important, insurance options, keeping us safe and insured and obviously helping us make more money in the right manner ahead. Let me tell you a little bit about RATA before we get on with this program. RATA is the Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Trades Association, the oldest organization in India, which is representing the HVAC in our industry, the businesses of the HVACR industry, the MSMEs in this business, and making them true and come together on one platform. This association does a lot of activities, including programs and webinars and workshops and awareness building sessions like the one we're doing today. Apart from that, we connect with the government on various issues like MSME, like GST, a lot of other compliances. We connect with a lot of parallel business houses, the chambers, etc., to ensure that our industry gets the right recognition it deserves. Because we need to understand that this is the industry that is going to grow up to 8 times in the next 2 decades. And we need to be prepared for this growth. The growth is healthy, the growth is ethical, and the growth is stress-free. And we need to do that. Only way is we have to come together. We have to join hands. We need to ensure that we are sharing with each other. We are talking to each other. We are referring our issues, our problems to the right authorities, with the government or otherwise. And in the process, the whole economy is going to gain, because as this industry grows, we all know that the construction industry is going to become the largest employer in the next couple of years or so. And we are part of that industry. So please, if you are not a member of RATA, do walk into our website, join our organization, and be a part of this growth, be a part of this excellent industry and this association. Now over to the session for today. As I told you in the beginning, it's going to be talking about Hum Ban Sakte Hain Crorepati, Sab Banenge Crorepati. And we have none other than Mr. Rohit to come and talk to us about this whole session. He is a very renowned financial advisor. He's been part of multiple forums, speaks at various levels, has also been recognized and rewarded by multiple forums. And he would be sharing his insights. And they want to keep this program as interactive as possible. So would request the people listening in to type your questions, your queries, your comments, as and when you wish to do it, because Rohit and his son Devesh are going to try and address them as they go along with the whole presentation. So over to you, Rohit, my dear friend, to take us for the next part of the presentation.
Thank you, Vishal. Thanks a lot. A lovely evening, and thank you, Rata, for giving me an opportunity to speak. I would like to help everybody become crorepati's. पैसा बहुत important है, and you are in a very growing industry. I see after this pandemic, the demand for housing and the comforts within the housing is going to go up, and the sale of air conditioner and the other amenities. I don't think so. Air conditioning is now a luxury. It used to be around 10 years back. It's now a necessity. I can't work without an AC with the fan on. You need comfortable environment. So I think so. The future of the air conditioning industry is booming. I see a great growth. I don't know. You have only quoted 7%. I should, in the coming 10 years, it should grow by 70%. Huge demand for air conditioning. Okay, now coming back to my topic. हम लोग सबको करोड़पति बनना है, and I would like to change your mindset of becoming a crorepati. It is not difficult. Habits change करना है अपने को. We need to change the habits. I would like to share some presentation. Yeah. Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah. So my company's name is SFIC Group, and thank you, Rata, for giving me an opportunity to speak here. And just a small background about my company. We are leading trusted financial planning and management services since 1993. We are basically into wealth creation and financial management. We are there for people making money. And our motto is to inculcate the habit of savings. savings is very important. जो पैसा बच गया आपके बैंक में, the money which is in your bank, which you have saved, is your earning. That is the mindset we have to develop. It is not our earnings, it is the money saved is the money earned. Investment through risk mitigation and financial independence. We have to become financially independent. That is the motto. You have to have it. We are also into stockbroking, insurance, all sorts of investment management, and the number of financial instruments is growing day by day. As on date, we are managing almost 500 crores for our various clients in various schemes. I did my schooling from Don Bosco, Kolkatta, and my graduation from St. Xavier's. I did my CFPs for Certified Financial Planner in 2017. And I'm also a certified trainer for SEBI for mutual funds and other investments. And it is my belief that there is not a common portfolio which I can suggest to everybody. Everybody is different. Whoever comes to me, I have to understand his needs. What is his requirement? And according to that, we have to make a portfolio for him. And the most important is you have to have a goal. I come across many people who say, I'm earning money, so I just need to save it. What's the best way to save? That is also okay. That means you want to create wealth. Try identifying a goal. This is very important. आज क्या होता है, आप you are in the air conditioning industry, in your industry, you must be planning कि last year my turnover was so many crores, next year or this year it should be this amount, next year it should be this. Similarly, you should have a financial goal in front of you, which will help you to work towards that. If you don't have a goal, you don't feel like going there. Okay, I want to buy a Merc, I want to buy a bungalow, I want to retire without working and in a lavish way. Many things you can desire. Put your desires in monetary terms. You can plan today and enjoy tomorrow. I'll tell you, you want to have a foreign trip every year. You can plan for that as well. It's not necessary you have to do something else. You can plan it during the year. Always set goals that are smart. I can't set a goal that by after 10 years I want to become Mukesh Ambani. That's not a smart goal. It should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be achievable also. It should be realistic, and of course, the time frame should be there. Now, coming to the various options we have, lot of financial products are being developed every day. Anything is created with the necessity a human being feels. You want this to happen. Similar people also think that हमको ये चाहिए, तो वैसा एक product बन जाता है. I'll name a few which are some are very common, like mutual funds. Most of people are investing, or if not, they should start in investing. This is one of the most popular way of investing today and the most commonly used. This industry is growing. The mutual fund industry is growing. It's a huge. Today it is a 26 to 27 lakh crore industry. Insurance. This is the oldest, I think so. People usually mix insurance with investments, which is the blunder most of the people do. Insurance and investments are two separate things. Please have this in mind. An insurance company is an insurance company. It insures the person in case the person having insurance dies. Money is paid to his family members. It is not an investment company. People mix it up most of the time. So please be careful when using insurance as a term for investments. Fixed deposits, most old manner and most simple vanilla product. Share trading, again old investment option, but again this is one of the most bazaar ruling at all-time highs, and so the activity in the stock market is booming. Investment in commodities, this has started also, and you can now invest in all types of commodities, be it agri or chemicals or metals like gold, silver, iron ore, copper, agri like sugar, potato futures are also being traded nowadays. Then we have the PMS, which is the portfolio management services. This is basically for HNIs, I would say, because the ticket size is usually 50 lakhs and 1 crore onwards. But still, this is a good product in certain cases. Structured products. Structured products are again as per requirement of the basically it is the product. There are different products which are designed. Like example I can give you is you bet on a Nifty or a Sensex growing by 20% after 3 years, something like that. So there are structured products. REITs is a very interesting investment option, and I would say this will be the investment option for the future. It is coming up very nicely, and this will be also benefiting the air conditioning industry also. This is the full form is Real Estate Investment Trust. I'll just explain you how the REIT works. In REIT, there might be a single promoter, there might be a handful of promoters who come together and they float a trust. The entire property or the floor area which they have must be a few lakh square feet area, which is rented out. So basically, any rented out property, big property, is usually can be converted to a REIT, and where the various investors get into it, and the returns generated from the rent is distributed amongst the holders after deduction of the necessary expenses. So like foreign BlackRock is a very big investor in REITs in India. I think so one of the biggest investors of REITs in India. Then there is infrastructure investment trusts, invest ITs they are called. Example of the invest ITs is you can take any toll tax which is being collected on the road. A highway is made, it is comes under the infrastructure, and all the toll tax which is collected from the highway is paid to the investors of that trust. Then there is NPS, National Pension Scheme. Again, this is a very tax efficient way of saving, and you get some tax benefit also while investing. Like in ATC, where you pay 1,50,000 is the limit, where you pay insurance premium, your ELSS, your NSC. Similarly, NPS, it has an additional 50,000 benefit by way of tax, and this is called the National Pension Scheme. It's an excellent product, and it is gaining popularity by the day. Now I forgot to include one. There is another instrument called AIFs, Alternate Investment Funds. This is also there. The best thing which is happening in the past few years is that SEBI is monitoring all these investment structures. So the chance of getting cheated or the scam or misappropriation is being reduced drastically. But at the same time, each product has its own risks and rewards. So before investing, one needs to understand them. What is whether his requirement is being satisfied by that product or not. This is very important. And mind you, never invest on hearsay. Today, your friend may come and say, I invested in this, I made a very good money. And tomorrow you go and put your money there and you may lose out. So understanding the financial product is also very important. Coming back to the agenda of this evening, हमको करोड़पति बनना है. अब करोड़पति हम कैसे बनेंगे? How will I become a करोड़पति? You have to save money. Savings is very important. The simplest way today possible is SIP, Systematic Investment Plan. I think so most of the viewers must be having something or the other by way of SIP. If not, please start today itself. You can start an SIP with a low of as 500 rupees. You can see the magic happen with the passage of time. I have seen it, and I have made people see it. SIP is a miracle which inculcates the habit of savings. Now coming back to mutual fund, which is, I would say, one of the most popular way of investment and easy to invest nowadays. Various mutual funds, if you open it, you will see hybrid, large cap, mid cap, small cap, multi cap, focus fund, sector fund. Don't get swayed by all this. Don't get confused. Simple, go for a diversified equity fund. Go for, say, a flexi cap type of a fund. Now again, this has to be advised by your financial advisor. You need to have a financial advisor. Today morning, I was listening to this gentleman. He is a very big investor in the stock market. He does investment in his wife's name, Dolly Khanna. You can Google and see Dolly Khanna. You must have heard the names of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and all that. I was just seeing his talk show on TV today. Not on TV, on some YouTube channel. And he also said that please always consult an advisor before investing. Most of the people, they are now going investing directly and they create a blunder. Avoid that, please. Consult someone before investing. Something which suits me may not suit you. Because all these portfolios, they have different risk factors. Like I said, you don't require big money. You can start a SIP with 500 rupees. So you should start savings. Now the big question comes, where to invest? Recurring deposit, mutual funds, ULIP, then many ways come out. Each investment product will be advised to you as per your suitability. You have to select the right product. If you are looking for long term, go for SIP. Now SIP in an equity fund. If you are looking for money you require after 2 years, there's a different fund. You have to go for a debt fund with a SIP of 2 years. But first of all, you have to set your goal for yourself. Why you want to save the money? When do you want the money? What is the quantum you want the money? What is the amount you are looking for? These are very important questions you first have to answer. Nowadays, you must be seeing KYC, know your customer, know your client. I think so. It is KYC, know yourself. First, know yourself, what you want. If you want money in the short term, I think so fixed deposits are better. But if you are looking for a longer term, mutual funds are better. So, I would not say fixed deposits are bad. Of course, they are important. But at the same time, your requirement is very important. When do you need the money? What is the amount you need the money? There's a thing called cash flow. You need to plan your cash flow in advance. You need money after 2 years for refunding a loan or for buying a house. You have to plan it today. Now, if you want to save, I know people, when I was young, in my school days, I used to see my dad having a daily SIP or a daily, this man from the bank used to come and take 50 rupees, 10 rupees from my dad every day. And he used to put it, that time I'm talking about 30 years back, 35 years back, that time 10, 15 rupees used to be quite big. 50 rupees was quite big. And every day that man used to come from the bank and take 50 rupees. And that used to be a daily, sort of a daily recurring deposit. Vis-a-vis, now we are advising, if you are having a longer view of more than say 2-3 years, go for a SIP in an equity mutual fund. Why is it good? The power of compounding is no doubt there. Forced saving is not always there. The most important factor is this concept called rupee cost averaging. What is the meaning of rupee cost averaging? Simple terms, I'll explain you. You bought one item for say 100 rupees. Next month, the price of that 100 rupees becomes 80 rupees. You buy another product. So the previous month you bought at 100, this month you bought at 80 rupees. So now for 2 units, your average is 90 rupees. What has happened? You have 2 products, average is 90. This is the normal way of averaging which we or any businessman knows. What happens in SIP? The amount of 100 is fixed. The first month, you bought 1 unit at 100 rupees. The next month, it becomes 80 rupees. In SIP, you don't buy 1 unit. You pay 100 rupees and you get more than 1 unit. You're getting 1.2 units. So, you have 2.2 units at 200 rupees. So, what is happening? You are buying more units when the price is down. and buying the less units when the price is up. Over a period of time, your cost average comes lower and lower. You work it out on any permutation combination, just scribble on the paper and write it, what happens. You will see this is called rupee cost averaging. Whenever the price is down, you are buying more of that product. This is the biggest advantage in SIP, because in SIP your amount is fixed. You do SIP of 5,000 rupees, every month 5,000 rupees flows away from the bank. Now, before coming to that, I would like to stress on yes. People are saying market is at all-time high, Sensex, Nifty at all-time high. Is it the right time to invest in mutual fund? This was the question being asked when the Nifty in February, when the Nifty was supposedly all-time high. Now it has reached a new high, and it will go on happening. Equities will keep outperforming other asset classes till the time the economy is fully developed. The Indian economy is still underdeveloped. जिस दिन इंडिया अमेरिका बन जाएगा, that time you should think this question. Till that time, go on investing. But yes, always have your goal in mind. If you have a short-term goal, avoid equity. And asset allocation is another thing which is very important. What do you mean by asset allocation? Asset allocation is whatever fund you have. Say you have 100 rupees. You should have 5 rupees, 5% in metals of gold and silver. Depending, now this is not fixed, depends on person to person and his likeness. He should have 30 to 40% in debt, some in fixed deposits, and some in equity. People say, "Jab retirement ho gaya, once you retire, you don't need equity." I said that's wrong. What is the rate of FDs today? Hardly 5-6%, not even 6%. And yesterday there was a credit policy. The government has given a repo rate of 4%, and whereas they have predicted the inflation of 5.7%. So you have to earn more than the inflation. And the only asset class which can give you or which can beat the inflation is equity. Now, equity investing is not easy. You can go through stocks directly, or you can go through mutual funds. You have to have equity in your portfolio. But again, it should be long term. Now, coming back, actually, investment is a very simple, no doubt. But what I want is, I want everybody to grow. 1,000 रुपए का SIP वाला 1 लाख का SIP करना चालू करे. This is my aim. I want him to grow, and that I have seen people growing over the years. How do we benefit? Diversified portfolio, portfolio creation by a professional fund management team through the mutual fund managers. You don't have to invest your time to do research and all that. That is our work. We give you a full package policy. You don't have to spend time on the accounting. You will get it. Everything tailor made. What is your capital gain? What is your taxation? Everything will be computed and given to you. But the most important thing is invest regularly and wisely. This regularity of investment will make you a crorepati. I can challenge this. You give me any person who is ready to invest regularly, I will make him a crorepati. Just as example for becoming a crorepati. Of course, you can't close your eyes and open it and say, I want to become a crorepati. You have to work for it. This is a very small example I have given you. A monthly investment of 20,000. If you earn 15% in 13.5 years, you become a crorepati. If you earn 12% in 15 years, you become a crorepati. It's not difficult to become a crorepati. Only the habit will change it. I have started SIP of the peons of various of my clients. The peon having a salary of 10,000-12,000 rupees, they are saving 1,500-1,000 rupees a month. And I've seen their money grow like anything over the last 10 years. It has done miracles, wonders. Inculcate this having of savings. Now, another difficult question I would say is being asked. What returns can I get from my investments? It is like asking at what speed vehicles move. Now, it depends whether you are driving a BMW or a Ambassador or a Fiat or a Nano. And of course, even if you are driving a BMW, but if the road is blocked, oh, there's no speed. So other things or the other scenarios, of course, it varies. In economics, there's a term called other things remaining constant. This is a very important term. So considering the other things and considering your requirement, you have to select a product and according to your risk appetite, that will give you the best returns. But the only thing which you have to do from your side is start saving. That is very important. Coming to insurance, protection is also very important. Insurance is not just paying the premium. Why you need insurance, how you need insurance, what insurance you need. I'll ask Devesh to take over from here and guide you. Devesh. Devesh.
Hi everyone. Thank you. While Dad was announcing, thank you, Rata. Even I was announcing. Probably I was in the back end. I was not audible. So before I move on to insurance, I'd just like to add something to what my dad mentioned. Is that I'm sure all of us must have heard that money is not everything. Paisa hi sab kuch nahi hai. So at least on one hand, I believe that. Before you say such things, make sure you have got a good corpus of money before you say that paisa hi sab kuch nahi hai. So moving on. So let's start with the insurance.
Yeah. Yeah, Devesh, can you see?
Yeah, thank you. So there are some myths about insurance which I think my dad already covered. That insurance is a costly affair. It is expensive. It is not for bread earners. It is not needed, or it's too early to think. So I'll clarify a few myths. I'll bust a few myths on those. So I'll briefly cover just three insurances, three parts of insurances. Of course, insurance is a very vast subject. It just does not comprise of three main sectors. But broadly speaking, majority of the people they opt for three main insurances. Those are health, motor, and property. So starting with health, I'd like to give you a few statistics. Can we go next? So as you can see that the if you the numbers, even I was shocked when I saw the stats. 85.9% of the population in the rural areas do not have an insurance, and 82% in the urban area do not have an insurance, which is quite shocking. Out of the balance, only 13.1% are having government funded insurance and 12% respectively. And the main reasons of people not getting an insurance policy is probably due to financial constraints or no facility in the neighborhood. The reason why I showed the stats for no facility in the neighborhood, trust me, you're sitting in any part of the country, you can get your insurance done. Nowadays, everything is digital and via telephonic conversations and emails, everything is possible from anywhere. We are having clients all across the country. So at least the no facility neighborhood is one barrier which we can break. So before I move on to the next, I am not here to talk about or sell insurance products, or I would not term myself as an insurance agent. I would term myself as an insurance consultant. I would review your policies. I would compare it. For me, the premium you pay is not important. For me, what is important is that, God forbid, you have any kind of claim. In that scenario, you get your claim settled. आपको आपका पैसा मिल जाना चाहिए. So, in health insurance, I'm sure all of you must be having health insurance. Few things which you must look out for: whether your policy is having a room rent capping or not, whether your policy is having a consumables cover or not, whether your policy is having ambulance cover or not. These are the three, vast areas where people lack. Room rent capping is definitely a big bane in your medical insurance policy, because majority of the insurance companies have a 1% or a 2% capping on the total sum insured. By 1% capping, I mean if you have a policy of 5 lakh rupees and 1% is 5,000, that means you cannot stay in a room of above 5,000. If you stay in a room of say 6,000 rupees, which means you are over doing your room rent limit by 20%, then from your entire claim 20% will be deducted. A lot of people are not aware of it. A lot of people don't talk about it. But for me, more than you getting an insurance, it is more important for me that you get your correct insurance. I would always believe in stressing in you getting the correct insurance. Let's go next. So coming to motor insurance, I'm certain all of us are having cars or two-wheelers or four-wheelers or any form. So just having a basic motor insurance is not enough. There are a lot of nitty-gritties in any insurance policy, even in your vehicle, which probably you did not know. There are some covers. The most common cover which everyone hears is bumper to bumper. People have this preconceived notion that agar mera policy mein bumper to bumper hai, then everything is covered. That's not true. Apart from bumper to bumper is also known as zero dep, which we call as zero depreciation, which just protects the depreciation. By protecting the depreciation, I mean with the passage of time, as your car becomes old, the depreciation value will not be considered, but there are several other factors which you need to look out for. For example, here you have consumables, and by consumables I mean, for example, cotton, nuts, bolts, masking tape, which generally mount off to around 3 to 5% of your total cost in a claim. For example, if you have a claim of 1 lakh rupees in your car, 3 to 5,000 rupees just the consumable cost, which you can add in your existing policy. Similarly, there is a tire protect. If you think that if your tire bursts due to an accident, you will not get a claim. You need to have a tire protector rider. Similarly, for an engine and gearbox, you need to have an engine and gearbox protect available. So there are a lot of things. Again, just like health, I would also stress that yes, while taking a car insurance, make sure your car is adequately covered so that in case of any claim, any mishap, any accident, you are out of financial burden. You don't have to think about where to get the money from. Your insurance policy will take care of everything. So let's go next. So home insurance and property insurance. Many of us, since we are doing this in association with Rata, I'm sure that a lot of people here are having insurance for the respective showrooms, respective offices, but I'm certain that you might have not have your house insured. आप जहाँ पे रहते हो उसका तो इंश्योरेंस कराना जरूरी है. And trust me, the premiums in home insurance are very, very negligible. It's a basic fire insurance which we always suggest. Why wait for some uncertainty to happen? Why not protect yourself in advance? So fire insurance or home insurance is fire insurance is taking care of not just any property. It can be for commercial property, residential property, showrooms, godowns, factories, anything. It is always better to be insured. As we have all have heard, it's better to be safe than sorry. So before I proceed, I'd just like to sum up this general insurance part by saying that we, as I already mentioned, that we don't really focus on the premiums you pay. We focus on your claims, your coverage is adequate. At the same time, since thanks to Dad and his goodwill, we are having a good relation with all insurance companies, and we can vouch, or I can proudly say that we can give the best quote all across the country. Anywhere in India, you can get a quote. We'll match it, or we'll give lower than that. That's our guarantee. So this was briefly how we covered life and general insurance. Let's go next, Dad. So before I move on to life insurance, there are a few other insurances also which we take care of, which I think house insurance I have already announced, factory and workshop insurance I already announced, motor insurance we do. Travel insurance is something which we also deal in. For example, you are out on a vacation, you have missed your flight, you have missed your baggage has been lost, you have a medical emergency in your travel, in your vacation. That is something we get it done. We also do marine insurance. What is marine insurance? Suppose your vendor is transporting your shipment to you. During the transportation, if there is some loss or some damage in the shipment, marine insurance takes care of that. There can be multiple types of marine insurance. It can be a specific consignment policy, or it can be an open policy. For example, you have a turnover of approximately 1 crore rupees, you can take an open policy of 1 crore so that your goods can be insured during your transit. Now, coming to personal accident policy, this is something which generally people or they take it for their employees or for themselves. Being the breadwinner, if something happens to you during a road or anywhere, it can be at your home, you fell down, you injured yourself and you're not able to work. So personal accident is something which we take care of. And lastly, group insurance and medical. So group insurance is something which is taken for a group of people. It is a group policy which can be taken in the name of a company, and a lot of people can enjoy benefits. There are a lot of perks which a group insurance or a group personal accident offers. For any more questions on this, please feel free to type on the comment box and I'll be happy to help. And so before why to take an insurance quote from us, I'll just like to add a few more insurances which we also deal in. There are some specialized insurances now with everything going digital. We also do cyber insurance, we do crime insurance, we do cyber crime insurance. Then there is something we do called as CGL, that's commercial general liability. For example, if someone walks into your showroom, slips and falls off, and injures himself or herself, something that is used to protect yourself against the liability, that is also something which we cover. It is very, very uncommon, but yes, we do that as well. So why choose us? Why SFIC? Is because of the quality. As I mentioned that for me, the premium you pay is not important. For me, what is important is आपको claim timely मिल जाना चाहिए. You don't face any problem at the time of your claims. The trust, yes, this is our company is almost 36 years old now, and I think people have built trust, and we are growing year on year. So without the trust, it wouldn't have been able to build. Same goes for identity and loyalty. So as I already mentioned that uh, we have all these four qualities, and we can give you the best rates across the country. That's one of the reasons why I would say you can choose from us. Of course, for me, more than closing the business with you, it is more important that you are at a benefit. I always want to be in your good books so that someday or the other, आज business close नहीं होगा, I'm certain 2 साल बाद होगा. But I would always want your betterment. So that was all on general insurance. As I said, insurance is a very vast subject, and we can have endless discussions on it. I think we are on a time crunch, so I'll just quickly rush through life insurance. So life insurance is a product, probably one of the products which you don't take for yourself. It is a policy which you take for your loved ones, so that in your absence, they do not have to deteriorate their lifestyle. It is very important. People neglect this, that ठीक है life insurance नहीं है, manage हो जाएगा. But just imagine one day if something happens to you, will your family be able to lead the lifestyle you are leading or helping them lead right now? So it is equally important to have a life insurance also. I think what's already shown on the screen, that if you can protect your mobile with a case, why can't you protect your life with a helmet? I think the helmet you need is a life insurance policy, which is very, very important. So let's go next. That I think I'll invite. That's all from my end for insurance. I'd like to invite my dad once again. Over to you, Dad.
I would just add. I would just like to add one more line in the insurance, that please, there's a concept in insurance called human life value. Find out the amount of insurance you need. It is dependent on the monthly expense or the annual expense your family spends. This is how you can calculate the amount of insurance you need. I come across people who say एक तो 20 लाख का पॉलिसी ले लेते हैं, 10 लाख का पॉलिसी ले लेते हैं, 25 लाख का पॉलिसी लेते हैं. आपका खर्चा कितना है? How much is the monthly expense? Your monthly expense is 1 lakh rupees. So what will a 20 lakh policy do? How long will it sustain? You need minimum more than a crore. You need a 1.2 or 1.5 crore policy. Now comes the premium. How will you pay the premium? Take a term insurance. So depending on your budget, depending on your requirement, you have to work out. First, find out what you need. Just don't spend your money, waste your money. Just because my friend is doing, I will also do it. That is totally wrong, which is happening most of the time. Plan it. What do I do? Most important, I have to listen to you, guide you, keep things as simple as possible. It should not be complicated. All investments should be very simple. The more you complicate, the more difficult it becomes for you. In case you are not there, your family members, everything, it becomes complicated. Very simple. It has to be simple. And of course, we are there to support you. Vishal, I think so we should take questions.
Yeah, Rohit, at this point, there are a few listed out in the comment section. So if Devesh wants to go through them and refer them and answer them, we can go through there. And requesting all of the listeners, if they have any other questions, they can talk about. I had one. If you could cover a little bit about index-based, all these index-based investments nowadays are becoming very popular. So what does that mean? How does that work? So if you could just throw a little bit light on that, and then one or couple of questions in the comment section.
Yeah, index-based, it's a good investment. They are more stable. See what is happening. What is a large cap fund? What is a mid cap fund? And what is a small cap fund? I just explain you. People talk about market capital. They are market capitalization. What is the meaning of market capitalization? Market capitalization is the floating stock of a company which we as investors can buy and sell. It is the non-promoter shareholding in the market. That multiplied by the price of the scrip is market capitalization. Now, depending on that, you can understand which is a large cap, which is a small cap, and which is a mid cap. Now, what happens? It is very difficult sometimes to identify the stocks, to which stock to buy or whether should I go. Index funds are relatively much safer funds. And the index is made by the SEBI is no doubt a bigger part in that, and it is basically under the control of the finance ministry. So they, in any index, they try to keep all the industries in that, whether it is a chemical manufacturing, whether it is a textile industry, whether it's a software. Now it depends on the contribution to the GDP by that industry. There might be a real estate. There is a real estate company, in fact, so the company which is, or the industry which is contributing more to the GDP has a bigger share in the index than a company which is with the industry which is contributing less. Now coming to, there are various types of index funds. One is a very vanilla Nifty index fund which is having the 50 Nifty stocks. One is a Sensex funds. Apart from that, there are mid cap funds. There are mid cap 100. Then there is small cap 250. They are also very attractive funds. So before investing in that, you can just have a glimpse on the portfolio which that index fund is having, and accordingly you can invest. Now naturally a Nifty 50 is less riskier compared to a small cap 250 fund. But the growth, naturally, risk and return, they are inversely proportional. Higher the risk, higher the return. So if you are aiming for a longer period of time, you can very well do a SIP in a small cap 250 index fund. I can challenge you. You will never lose money in the stock market if you have the proper timing. This is a market where you enter at your own will, but exit when the market permits you. If you have the time, I can give you in writing on a stamp paper that you will never lose money in the stock market.
You're on mute.
Yeah, something people are listening on that to you.
Yes.
So there's some question by Christopher Fredericks wanting to understand how to calculate investments to reach a particular value of your net worth in 1 year or 5 years. Suppose if you want to reach 1 crore in 1 year or 1 crore in 5 years. I do not know whether you can answer that question. So I don't think it's as simple as asked, but how much do we need to invest every month is he asking.
See, if you need in 5 years, of course, you can download our app SFIC Wealth. If you download our app SFIC Wealth from any Play Store, there's a calculator, and you can calculate from there. There's a future value calculator. You write there 1 crore. Investment period 5 years. And expected return, say 12%. You need to have a monthly SIP of 1,29,876 rupees. For 5 years at 12%, your money becomes 1 crore.
Okay.
So
Okay.
anything which you do, it should be achievable. We should not do anything which is not achievable. Yes, if you can save 1 lakh or say 75 to 1 lakh and go for balance your portfolio. Give some equity, give some debt. Don't put everything in one place. And then you have to rebalance it. Suppose you decide with the factor that I will put 75% in equity and 25% in debt. After 3 months or 6 months, depending on the term, rebalance it. Take the valuation after 6 months and then again see 75 has become 90 and then 25% has come down. So again rebalance it. That is how you have to do.
Okay. Fair enough. I don't see any other questions that have been asked at this point. So maybe people are digesting all that you've told them. Oh, it's not an easy subject to understand. And that too in 40-45 minutes, one just gets the basics in place, and surely needs to deep dive more into each subject matter separately on their own or through professional companies like yours to make a better go at it. So thank you, Rohit. Thank you, Devesh, for taking
Thank
us
you.
through this last an hour journey of investments, understanding the basic levels of all kinds of possible options that you have basically covered in this presentation. Maybe in the days, weeks ahead, we might want to get into a little bit more detailed in some specific items so that people understand more about that. We will see that maybe in the next session at some point. But at this point, big thanks to both of you on behalf of RATA, on behalf of RATA Kolkatta chapter, and all other people who are listening in. Big thanks to both of you, and have a good weekend ahead for our listeners and viewers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you.
Thank you.